Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? It's Makeda Valletta, also known as the Renaissance Amazon. And I am live on my Instagram, and I will repost it to my YouTube, so be sure you follow me in both places. I'll post the links for both pages below. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I just wanted to do a quick video this morning. For those of you who are hip-hop heads or you pay attention to music, you may know that Cardi B came out with an album, what was it, like, I think on Friday? And she actually broke a record. She actually went platinum faster than any artist in history. First they said it was faster than any woman, any female artist, but now it seems to be the fastest in history, which is extremely difficult now because people aren't even buying albums like that anymore, right? And I am definitely Team Cardi, and I must tell you, so in case you don't know, I am a I am a native New Yorker from Harlem, Washington Heights. Okay, so if you don't know New York City, Manhattan, the island of Manhattan, which is the most important borough. Okay, everything that people know of in New York: Soho, Greenwich Village, the LES, which is the Lower East Side. Harlem, all of that is in Manhattan, okay? And so Harlem is in the northern part of the island, okay? Washington Heights is the next neighborhood north of Harlem. It's a heavily Dominican neighborhood. It actually says Little Dominican Republic on the map now. And I grew up in Sugar Hill, the border of Harlem and Washington Heights. So where Harlem ends and Washington Heights begins. So I grew up around a lot of Dominicans. I grew up around hearing Dominican music all day, gay lo gay, Espanol, Dominican Spanish, okay, which is different than Mexican Spanish or Colombian Spanish, or, you know, Dominican Spanish is like understanding Jamaican English, okay? So, and I grew up around, you know, people that they all look like me and my family, so I was really confused. I actually did a video called In Defense of Dominicans. If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest you look at it because I go into depth in the complexities. I think Dominicans are misunderstood, but I have mad love for them, okay? Grew up around them, never had an issue with them, or my twin brother, okay? And I've been to Dominican Republic, never had any issues, right? I feel like Dominicans are good people, but the music, okay? Latin America, it's funny when people talk about Latinos as if Latinos are one homogenous group. They're very different. Every country has different culture, different music, different foods, right? They speak Spanish differently. So when people are from the West Coast or maybe the Midwest, when they talk about Latinos, they're always talking about Mexicans. If you're from New York and you're talking about Latinos, you're talking about Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, right? Those are the dominant ones, and they contribute a lot to New York City culture. Merengue, the song BODEGA BADDIE, I did a dance. I did several videos dancing to it, but I can't really post it on YouTube because I get flagged because of copyrights, okay? So if you're watching this video on YouTube and you want to see the dance versions of me dancing to some of her music, then follow me on Instagram, okay? I have two Instagram pages, the Renaissance Amazon, _Renaissance_Amazon, and then Copper Showgirl, Copper_Showgirl, okay? Those are my two Instagram pages. And I'll be posting it there. Other than that, I'll be posting it on my dance page, okay? So you want my dance page, just message me. Anywho, YouTube be trying to flag, so I might try to post some dance stuff here and there on YouTube where I can, but it can be difficult. But the particular song, BODEGA BADDIE, is only like a minute and 45 seconds, and so the rhythms in Dominican Republic are very different than Puerto Rico, than Cuba, than Mexico, Colombia, Peru. Like, all those countries have completely different music, and Dominican Republic has merengue, right, and bachata, but merengue is very fast, okay? Very fast hips. They has the shaker. There's a particular shaker instrument they use, not a shaker, but this other it's a sound that I don't know if it's like a washboard, but it's particularly Dominican, and when I hear it, I know it's Dominican, right? And so Dominican merengue is all about fast feet, hips, you know, and so that is part of the soundtrack of the Heights, okay? You don't hear that music in Brooklyn. You don't hear that music in Queens. You don't hear that music in Lower Manhattan. You really don't even hear it in Harlem like you hear it in the Heights and the Dominican sections of the Bronx. Now, no, they're not maracas. They're not maracas. Hold on a minute. Let me see. It's not maracas. It's something, because maracas is used throughout Latin America. Whatever it is that the instrument is called, it's unique to Dominicans. Hold on. Let me look it up. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to tell you right now. And merengue is a workout. Trying to dance to that fast rhythm for so long, like that song is 1 minute and 45 seconds, and at the end I'm like, whew. Oh, it's a metal scraper. Yes, a guira. Okay, a metal scraper. I knew it was a metal scraper. It was like a washboard. I knew it wasn't a guiro, right? Which other Latin countries use. I think it's made of wood. It's a guira, which is made from. It's a metal scraper. Okay, so in Dominican merengue, you have an accordion, two-headed tambora drums, and a guira. Okay, and it has this accent that really gets in me. Then you have Dominican congos y palos, which a lot of people don't know about. It's not social music. It is congos y palos is more like religious folkloric stuff, but they use hand drums and tambourine, hand drums, and they use drums that are Congolese ngoma drums. Okay, in the Congo they play the drums called the ngoma, which they stand up and play. It's in between their legs, and they stand up, and the men are usually rocking back and forth while they're playing it. Dominicans play that same drum. I don't know what they call it, because I don't think they call it ngoma, but it is straight up Congolese ngoma drum. So again, I think people misunderstand Dominicans a lot. Sorry, I'm trying a lot. People could talk about the colorism in DR. There's colorism in Jamaica too. That's even worse, I would say. Okay, but I'm not going to get into that. I got into that in my video in defense of Dominicans. I just want to talk about the Cardi's album real quick, and also this BODEGA BADDIE thing, which what she did, I Like It Like That. That was also very much Uptown. I Like It Like That was Puerto Rican, right? That was a Boogaloo song. Boogaloo came out in the 60s, okay? Predated salsa. It predated hip hop, but it came from the collaboration of Black Americans and Puerto Ricans in Harlem, okay? And Boogaloo is very Uptown, but it's more El Barrio. El Barrio is Spanish Harlem. That's East Harlem. Some people think that the Heights is Spanish Harlem because it overlaps with West Harlem, and everybody's speaking Spanish. You hear more Spanish in the Heights than you do in El Barrio, because El Barrio, aka Spanish Harlem, is heavily Puerto Rican, New Yorican, and they've been in New York, in America, for a long time, and they have assimilated, and they speak English. And so you don't hear a whole lot of Spanish in El Barrio, Spanish Harlem, which is heavily Puerto Rican. Now a lot of Mexicans there too. But in the Heights, which is heavily Dominican, Dominicans don't assimilate. Cardi has assimilated more than most. Most Dominicans are not assimilating. They speak Spanish. You're going to hear Spanish all day. Like, they've been in the Heights for more than 40 years, and nobody's learning to speak English. You go in Dominican businesses, you're going to have to speak Spanish. Okay? Living in my neighborhood, I heard Spanish more than I heard English, okay, all day long. If I walk down the street talking to you, you're going to hear Dominican Spanish. It's very loud, very fast. They talk very fast and very loud. It's actually the hardest kind of Spanish for me to understand. If I'm around Mexicans or Colombians or Costa Ricans and they're speaking Spanish and I'm not even trying to listen to them, I understand them. But Dominicans, no, okay? So I just wanted to tell you, like, the rhythms behind it. And this is the thing about hip-hop, which is similar to salsa, right? Salsa music is a mixture of things. The backbone of salsa music is son montuno, which is a rhythm from Cuba, Afro-Cuban rhythm called son montuno. That is the backbone basis of salsa music. But in salsa music, people will throw orisha rhythms, which are Yoruba Bata rhythms. They will throw, Puerto Ricans will throw bomba y plena rhythms into salsa music. They will also throw orisha stuff, maybe rumba rhythms, which is another Congo-based Afro-Cuban social dance. Colombians will throw cumbia in it, right? So salsa music really is a mixture of stuff, and it varies depending on where it's coming from. Hip-hop is similar, because hip-hop from the South, you know, you hear those Southern beats, like the marching bands. The South has those marching band cultures, and you hear it in the beats. Or a strip club culture and music that really speaks to your hips. It makes you want to move your hips. the West Coast, we're throwing West Coast with him. Listening to some of Kendrick Lamar stuff, he has some West Coast influence. Houston might do that, you know. So Lil Wayne did that with that song, A Millie. He had bounce beats. Bounce is particularly from New Orleans, and he would throw that in his hip-hop songs. And so you find that in hip-hop just like you find in salsa music. Salsa music and hip-hop both were invented in the streets of Uptown New York City. Uptown New York City. Harlem in the Bronx, Uptown New York City, okay? Cardi B was born in Washington Heights, raised in the Bronx, but it's the same difference because the Bronx is right over from the East River. Cardi's obviously not a colorist, okay? She's always with some dark-skinned black man, having kids with them, okay? So my experience with Dominicans, I've never been made fun of or been called ugly. Dominican men have always complimented me in my neighborhood, never been disrespected. Dominican men have always seen me and said, "You're beautiful, God bless you." They don't harass me, you know. Now, granted, I'm not dark-skinned, so I've never had anybody make fun of my skin for being light or dark, because I'm not light or dark. A lot of times, light-skinned people have had light-skinned jokes thrown at them. Dark-skinned people have had dark-skinned jokes. I haven't had the experience, but I never saw it either. And I asked my twin brother, because my twin brother is dark-skinned. I'm like, I never saw him get made fun of, and maybe I missed something. So I asked him recently, did anybody make fun of you growing up because you were dark? My brother laughed at me. He said no. So I didn't see that growing up, right? But as an adult, I've heard the light skin, dark skin stuff go back and forth. And usually it was from people that's from the South. I can't say I experienced that in New York so much. But I knew that about Dominicans because I was told that by the people who raised me. They made me aware of what was going on in the world in different countries. Thank you for the compliments. So I was aware of it, but I never experienced anything from a Dominican. I can't tell you, anything negative. I can't tell you one single incident in my life where a Dominican has had even a slight attitude with me in any kind of situation. They're some of my favorite people. They're good people, okay? I've had more issues with Jamaicans than I have with Dominicans, okay? You go into Jamaican business, they have a stank attitude. Dominicans are never stank, okay? There's this dude, I should have talked about this dude I follow on Instagram. I'm forgetting his name right now, but he dances on the trains. He has a huge following, like millions of followers. I think he's part of the Light Feet crew. I'm going to post his information because I can't remember it off the top of my head. But he's Dominican. I knew he was Dominican when I saw him online because people say, and again, I'm not going to watch my video in defense of Dominicans, but Dominicans, to me, I don't care what anybody says, are heavily indigenous. And some of them have looks where you just know that they're Dominican. Like, oh, that person looks Dominican. And that's coming from the indigenous people, okay? Anywho, this guy looks very Dominican. And he is Dominican, okay? I just knew it from looking at him. But he dances on the trains in New York, and he's amazing. Again, all those train dancers in New York that's bouncing off the wall, they all come from Uptown. The Bronx, the Heights, Harlem, right? That's the best dancers in New York is Uptown. And I saw him last month in the streets in Harlem. I saw him last month in the streets of Harlem, and I was like, oh my God, are you such and such? And he said, yeah, he was so nice. Like, so nice and so humble, and I'm a serious fan. And I'm not a fan of many people. I don't be going up to people, but I'm like, wow. And it was just super cool. And he's, the level of humbleness he has, and he's such an amazing dancer. I need to, I'll post some of his stuff below. But it's what makes New York dope. Dominicans and Puerto Ricans really contribute, Dominicans and Puerto Ricans really contribute to making New York City as dope as it is, okay? We have no offense to any other city, but we do have the dopest Hispanic population in America is in New York City. New York, Puerto Ricans, and Dominicans flavor, okay? And, but anyhow, another thing, from the Bronx, right? We had Big Pun, who's Puerto Rican, right? He's from the Bronx. Pun used to rap in English and Spanish all the time, which is why Pun got extra points for me. Because I'm like, Pun was the only rapper I ever knew that rapped in English and Spanish, and it rhymed, and it made sense, right? Cardi is the only rapper I've seen since then that does that. And she's not the only rapper from New York. There's other Dominican and Puerto Rican rappers from New York who weren't even really claiming it. Like, I think Fabulous is like half Dominican or something like that. So Cardi, outside of Pun, Cardi's the only rapper I've seen from New York or elsewhere who's rapping in English and Spanish all the time and throwing it. And Cardi's very smart for throwing the Dominican vibes in it. And I respect her because she's touring all over the U.S. If you look at her tour, she's going to like every city in town, okay? Whereas Bad Bunny, and I'm not a huge Bad Bunny fan, but he's going crazy right now on his tour. And he said he wasn't coming to the U.S. because I guess like of ICE or something, and he would look out for his fans. But it's like, if you're looking out for your fans, there's plenty of Hispanic people in the States that would come to your shows. And all your fans aren't Hispanic, but plenty of them would come to your shows. Do you think they're all illegal? Because Cardi, because I'm going to tell you something. Most Dominicans in New York are not legal, okay? If you came to my neighborhood and spun around and went into businesses, most of those people are not legal. They're not stopping anything in New York. They're still doing their parades, still waving their flags. And Cardi's still touring. She's not like, oh, let me not go on tour in the States because ICE might get my fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's whack to me. That's weak to me that Bad Bunny is doing that. And the fact that, to me, I just think it's amazing that Cardi, and I wanted to do another video. I was going to do a video called Is Cardi Wrong? And I would still do that video where, because, you know, she's pregnant by this football player and everybody has their opinions about it. And there's some things I want to say about that. So I was going to do a video talking about that, and I will. I won't do it in this video. Yeah, the Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York is always iconic. The Dominican Day Parade, I went to it this year for the first time. That was pretty fun. I have it on my other page, Makeda Valletta Travels. So now the album I think is good. I haven't listened to every single song yet, but everything I've heard has been good. I'm gonna do an updated video after I listen to the whole thing. But I love how she came at Bia. Now, if you don't know who Bia is, I actually am a fan of Bia. I think Bia is very talented, okay? I think she's a very talented rapper. She's in Boston, but she ate Bia up. I didn't even know they were beefing. And it's funny because Bia has made songs with Nicki. She killed JT. First of all, Miami doesn't even have good rappers. I mean, I like Kodak Black, as ignorant as he is. But Rick Ross raps like he's from New York. But Miami rappers can't touch New York, okay? No city can beat New York. I know Atlanta thought Atlanta thought they took over hip hop or whatever, when Atlanta doesn't even have 10 relevant rappers in the past, okay? New York has so many rappers that are still legends that could still go on tour. I saw Wu-Tang this summer twice, selling out places, you know what I'm saying? New York has battle rappers. Atlanta don't got that. Atlanta don't got freestyle rappers that could beat New York. New York has way more female rappers that's popping. Atlanta just got a female rapper, and that was Lotto. Like, the Brat's not from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, you're missing too many things to ever be thinking that you took over hip-hop. That's funny, okay? So, hip-hop started in the Bronx, okay? That's Cardi's borough. So, she went platinum the faster than any artist ever. Well, maybe the Bronx, okay, the place where this was birthed, needs to remind people, because people have been real disrespectful on New York's name. People have been real disrespectful on the Bronx, right? Especially Brooklyn people who think they're so important and they're more important than everybody. But the Bronx is the roots, okay? People from Brooklyn don't come to the Bronx, okay? They don't know how dope the Bronx is. They're always talking like Brooklyn is the center of the world and it's the greatest place. And to me, Brooklyn is overrated. Okay, the Bronx is where it's at. That's where you're going to find the real flavor. You go to Brooklyn, you're going to find the people who eat vegan Ghanaian food, the people who eat vegan Dominican food, okay? Dominicans ain't no vegans. Africans, Ghanaians ain't no vegans. When you come up to the Bronx, you're going to find the real shit, okay? Not the vegan version of it, not the tofu version of shit, not the fake comedic stuff and all the made up stuff. No, the Bronx is where the real shit is at, okay? So my rating on Cardi's album out of 10, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that because I haven't listened to the whole album. But what I've heard, there's many songs I like. I love the song Magnet. I love the song Pretty and Petty. I like Imaginary Players. I didn't listen to it until recently, and that song is actually a good song. And Jay-Z wouldn't have signed off on that if it was crap. Like, some people don't like it. I think people just like to judge, hard on Cardi, but art is subjective, right? I love BODEGA BADDIE. Love it. It just reminds me of home. And you saw when Cardi was doing her promotion, she was in the Heights on the cars, taking the babies. That was on my block. I had just left New York. I'm in Chicago right now because I live in Chicago now. But I go to New York every single month. Yeah, I'm always in New York. And as soon as I left, Cardi was on my block. That was on my block. That was like literally two avenues over on the same street that I live on. 2 short blocks. That's where Cardi was at doing that promotion on the roof and everything. But yeah, I'm gonna do another video on her album and just her whole pregnancy situation. Maybe I'll do it later today. But I just wanted to say that what I have heard from the album is fire. Super congrats to Cardi for going platinum in 15 hours, fastest in history, broke a record. Go Cardi, go Uptown New York City. Oh, I love the song Safe with Kalani. Okay, beautiful video, very interesting video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Kalani is gorgeous. The 2 of them look gorgeous. It's a great collaboration. The whoever choreographed it, whoever did the costuming, the sets, that video was great, and I love that song. And I think every woman just wants a man that makes her feel safe. Okay, but it's just even a good feeling as a woman to say that, you know, like someone makes me feel safe. Like it just feels it's a good feeling. That's what we want. But if you haven't seen that video, check it out. Okay, and so I'm in my Cardi mode. I'm gonna be dancing to like all the songs in the album. I'll be posting some of it on Instagram. Can't post much of it on YouTube because I get blocks. Okay, so I'll be posting on Instagram and whatever excess practice videos I have. Because sometimes I'll post a video on Instagram. I might post like one video. Maybe I recorded 6. Okay. Maybe some of them I'm like, oh, this is falling out or that's flying out, so I'm not going to post this on Instagram. I post all my practice videos and more on my loyal fans. Okay, so if you want that link, just let me know. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to say before I go? Let me just address her pregnancy real quick while I'm here. So people are like, you know, she's divorcing Offset, which I never think she ever should have married him. That dude's such a lame, such a freaking lame. She was always way too good to be with him. And he was always using her. I think he was clout chasing, right? I'm surprised she had 3 kids with him, but she did. Filing for divorce. So people are like, oh, she's pregnant so quick with this football player's baby. Well, you know, first of all, if a woman aborts a baby, like in the black community, all I see online, when women's reproductive rights are being threatened in abortion, in some states you can't get an abortion, I don't see black people. I don't see black men. I don't see a lot of black people, period, standing up to protect those rights. But then those same people will judge a woman. I don't believe in abortion and judge a woman for having one, right? But those same people judge a woman who is a single mom. So if a woman has a baby and she's a single mom, and she's a single mom, people judge a woman then. Oh, that's what I see with the black community. They judge the hell out of single moms. And somebody could have been married and still end up being a single mom. Being married doesn't mean that she won't end up being that way, right? But people trash women when they have an abortion, trash them when they become a single mom. So what you know? And then it's like with someone like Erykah Badu. Erykah Badu had 3 kids with 3 different men, and people act like, oh, that's a terrible role model. But she had 3 kids with 3 dope men, okay? Not losers, okay? 3 amazing men who were able to take care of their kids, who were in their kids' life. She didn't have kids with 3 losers and she's struggling to take care of them. No. You know what I'm saying? And it may be way more peaceful. Living in a house with married parents can be overrated. Like sometimes parents are married, but they're arguing all the time. You know what I'm saying? No kids wants to hear that, and that affects children too. And so there's not like there's just one formula. Kids do need a mother and a father. So, and they need that influence of the mom and the dad, and they need to be, you know, provided for. But you don't necessarily have to be married. And even if like this, I'm not saying that what he did was right. I'm not saying that it's right for him to be having babies all over the place. But at the end of the day, what matters most is taking responsibility, doing what you're supposed to do, being there for your child. Because honestly, if you look at, like, I came from a 2-parent household where it's me and my twin and my mom and my dad, right? But so many people's histories and stories of their family is not this, especially when people had a lot of kids. Like if someone had like 10 kids, a lot of times all 10 of those kids didn't come from the same person, okay? Even on the woman's end. And there's a lot of scandalous stories because, I mean, if you think about it, DNA tests are new. Fairly new. I don't even think they're around in the 60s. So that means for a long time, men had to believe that if the woman said this is your child, you had to believe that. There was no proof. So there's a lot of men taking care of kids that's not theirs. Even with DNA tests. Because even currently, somebody can be married and you have 6 kids with your child. You're not going to, I mean, you have 6 kids with your wife. You're not going to think that 1 or 2 of those kids ain't yours, right? But that's always a possibility. That happened to one of my best friends. He found out he had a 38-year-old daughter he didn't know he had at 57 years old. And this girl grew up with a mother and a father. She had other siblings. But her mother was cheating on the father when he was away in the military, right? So, you know, this idea that people have this perfect situation that everybody's going to be married and they're going to be married forever and raise their kid, it's not realistic. It's not, you know, there's a lot of ways that families happen. And to me, Cardi, anybody who watches her can see she's a great mom. She's a great mom. That kid is going to be fine. That, you know, the kid, Cardi is not poor. She can provide for the child. The father can provide for the child. The father is welcoming the child. And you know what I'm saying? Like, she's making the best of the situation. It's not like when women get pregnant, it's not always, people act like it's like we have full control over that. No, like, even when women take birth control, there's times that women get pregnant. There's times that men get a vasectomy and gets a woman pregnant. Like, there's times that people really don't want to be pregnant and they get pregnant. Times people really want to get pregnant and they don't get pregnant. I've seen people get pregnant using birth control. Then when they don't want to get, I mean, they do want to get pregnant and they're not using birth control, they can't. Like, fertility is very mystical. It's not this simple thing of, as simple as, oh, I just want to have a kid with him. You know, like, I don't know. I think people are disconnected from the fact that we're animals and we have nature. And fertility is way more complex in this general way that people like to make it, the simplistic way. And sometimes babies, you know, certain spirits and things that are meant to be here. There's a lot of people that have kids in more than one person. And because we're animals first, you know, religion dictates to us how we're supposed to live and what's morally right. But we're animals first. And animals mate with various animals. Like when it's mating season, no female animals mating with one male. And no male animals mating with one female. And we need genetic diversity. So when people have kids with different people, or people are having kids with different races, okay, all of that is creating genetic diversity, which is important for the planet, okay? So there's a lot of different ways that I look at things, but all in all, I put every situation into context. And in the context of Cardi B, she is a great mom. She has a village because people need support to raise their kids. So it'd be different if she was having kids and she didn't have no support. She didn't have no money. She's having kids with an idiot, loser, deadbeat, who's broke. That's not what this is. Cardi's a great mom. She's experienced. She has a village. She has her family. She has the money and the resources. He has the money and the resources. And what is she going to do? Like, what do people want her to do? Be mad? Like, she's pregnant. She needs to stay in a happy, calm place. So she's going to be like, yeah. And people are like, oh, but she left Offset. But again, put things into context. People don't have critical thinking. She was married to Offset, okay? And when they got married, they made a certain agreement that they were going to be monogamous or whatever. He consistently broke that, consistently cheated on her with her ops. Now she's filing for divorce. But she got with this football player, Stefan. He might not have told her that she's the only one. He might have made it clear that I'm an athlete and I'm out here, right? And she might have said, okay, that's fine because I'm just coming out of this divorce, and he's being real about it. So sometimes what it is for people is you being real about it, right? So you being real from the beginning that it's not just you. I have variety. I have other things going on. But when I'm with you, I'm going to treat you how I treat you. That could have been what it was. You know what I'm saying? And so now that she's finding out, she might not be happy that he got all these other women pregnant, but he never lied to her. He might not have ever told her she was the only one. They're not married. They didn't make wedding vows if he was going to do this and do that. You know what I'm saying? So when she's so unbothered, and people are like, well, why would she go from Offset to this dude who's doing the same thing? It's not the same thing because she's not married to him. And you don't know what kind of promises he made to her. She said they were having fun. And sometimes when you're having fun, kids come. Sometimes it's a oops. But she's taking responsibility for that. She's not running and saying, oh, I'm going to abort the baby. Why? Why? You know what I'm saying? Some people get pregnant and they didn't mean to get pregnant. But she's owning it, and she's going to take care of her child, and so is he. Why not? So for people to be attacking her, like, oh, she's going to go from that to being a baby mama, like, first of all, he might treat her better and be more respectful to her than Offset. Everything is not all about sex, okay? It's not all about sex. And people are delusional when they think they own people anyway. You know? Like, so there's too many other factors to look at. The girl says she's happy. People should be happy for her and stop trying to dissect her decisions because hardly anybody was born out of a perfect situation, okay? Some people got married because they got pregnant and they wouldn't have got married otherwise. That person didn't like them that damn much, okay? Yes, they are focusing on the wrong stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love Cardi. She's a smart girl. She's so funny. She's talented, even though, like, you know, she makes good songs because she's about making money. She came out the strip club. Strip clubs be hustlers. I mean, strippers be hustlers, okay? Like, I was never a stripper, but, like, I have a really good friend who's friends with a lot of girls who were strippers, like, in the 90s and early 2000s. All these girls are bosses now. Like, they all got accounting firms. They work in IT. They're making money because they have a hustle mentality. I will never be broke hustle mentality. And Cardi's a hard worker. And the way Cardi performs pregnant needs to be studied. And if she would have came out in the 90s, she wouldn't have had the same career. Women back then, where your career was over if you got pregnant. Being a female artist is so difficult, but because Cardi has worked through it and proven that she can do it, you know, and that's why I always say that Beyonce gets more points than a Prince or a Michael Jackson, because Beyonce has 3 kids and she's also performed pregnant and performed right after she gave birth. That's really difficult, okay? Male artists don't have to do that. So I think women get extra points for that. And Cardi gets extra points for that. And Cardi's album is dope. And I'm going to do another review on the album because I haven't listened to every single song. But all the songs I've listened to are fire. And there's some songs I like so much that I just keep listening to them. So I haven't got through the whole album. Okay, she did a good song with Lizzo. She collaborated with Janet. I told you the Kalani song, Safe, is great. She got a song with Summer Walker that's like #1 right now. I hope she does some remixes. I hope she does some remixes and puts Meg on it. And Lotto. And Glorilla's her cousin. I would love to see her do some remixes. I love this whole female rap era. To me, it's better than... To me, this is the best time in hip-hop is now, okay? Because more female voices. I love the female voices. They're not talking about selling drugs and shooting up the hood. They might talk about sex a lot, but who whoop-de-doo, we all have sex, right? Why are people upset about that? Sex is not killing nobody or hurting nobody. If anything, it's healing people and bringing more babies to this world. Because aren't they saying that we have a baby shortage right now? Like, our population is dying out. So, but the men, they're talking about all the bodies and all the drugs. Hardly any rapper doesn't have murder charges, rape charges, RICO charges, assault charges. There's hardly, like... LL Cool J is like the only rapper I could think of that don't have something like that. Even Tupac, who you guys love so much, had rape charges. Okay? Even Biggie was beating Faith and Lil' Kim. You know what I'm saying? All of them. You know? So, like, I like looking at pretty women more than I like looking at some dusty-looking dude rappers. The girls got the nice costumes. You know? I like Bia, who she dissed. Bia's talented, but people can't name 5 of her songs. You know, there's so many good female rappers right now. Mana Leo, she's off the chain if you don't know her. She got married this weekend to Stunner for Vegas. Like, her dude is a rapper too. And I love their relationship because he's super supportive. Like, when you're an artist, you need to be with someone who's not going to suppress your artistry. It's only very special and particular people that can understand being with an artist. So I really like seeing when I see women, powerful, artistic women, get with men who are not trying to suppress them. Understand their art, right? Understand that sexuality is a part of it. And sexuality is better than talking about death, murder, and selling drugs, okay? People talk about how great Big L was. He got shot. What was Big L talking about? Death. You have, even with the Migos, Takeoff got shot. What the hell happened? Like, we still didn't find out why he got shot. But all these male rappers with that, right? So, to me, the female rap era is and people always talk about the women are beefing. The men beef even more. All these men, why is Dame Dash always doing interviews? And he always beefing with somebody. Like, why? So, there's a lot of great female rappers. I'd love to see it. And hip-hop is not sports. So you can compare men to female. We don't need to say who's the best female rapper, who's the best male rapper. We could just talk about who's the best rappers, who did the most numbers, who sold. They don't need to be separated by male and female, because this is not a physical sport where men are stronger. You know what I'm saying? This is a level playing field. And so Cardi beat the record for everybody, not just for females, but for everybody. Okay? So anyhow, tengo hambre. I need to go eat. I just wanted to do this quick video. I'm going to be dancing to Cardi's songs. I'm going to do a lot of dance videos to her songs. I'll be posting it on my Instagram. Because dance is my art form. And I cannot wait till she does a video for BODEGA BADDIE. Cannot wait. I know it's going to be lit. So anyhow, Cardi's #1. Surpassed Nicki. I know she's going to win some Grammys for this album. I'm Team Cardi. Love her all day. Watching her come. She's the realest person in hip-hop. Watching her come from the strip club. When she's on Lovin' Hip Hop New York, she was in the strip club. And people, DJ South, didn't believe her. Didn't believe in her. Was doubting her. We saw Cardi come up out the gutter. So I'm so happy to see it. And that's my girl. Love it. Love it all day. And so if you've heard her album, please write below what you thought about it. What songs did you like? And all that good stuff. Check out the video Safe by Kalani. And yeah, have a good day, people. I am going to go on ahead and what is it? Live my day. Okay. Have a good day. Bye.